you, Ray, for your leadership here in Hillsborough County, and Wayne, thank you for your leadership as well on the state level. It's great to be with all of you here in Hillsborough County. Great to see so many familiar faces and friendly faces, but also new faces as well. It's a pleasure for me to have my entire family here with me today. First, of course, my bride of 9 years and hopefully the next first mom of New Hampshire, my wife Susie, is here. Also, my 3 kids, my oldest, Colby, who's getting ready to play a baseball game at 2 o'clock today. My daughter, Lindsay, who's wearing her medal from having won 3rd place in the softball throwing competition this morning. Yeah, that's a good round. And then my youngest son, Tommy Tornado, who's somewhere around here, and was actually pretty calm right now, but just give him a few minutes, and you'll know why we call him that. But it is great to be here with all of you. And you know, 4 years ago, Barack Obama rode into town in New Hampshire preaching a message of hope and change. And so keeping with the theme of change, so let me ask you a question. Are you ready for change at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue with a new President of the United States, Mitt Romney? And are you ready to see a change at 107 North Main Street in Concord when we put a Republican in the corner office for the first time since 2004? And you know, I've said if we put a Republican in the corner office, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get more done in 2 years than what John Lynch got done in 8 years, although the bar wasn't set that high. But we can certainly start out by, number 1, getting New Hampshire out of Obamacare, number 2, repealing Reggie Foley, number 3, finally passing an ed funding amendment, and number 4, making New Hampshire the first right-to-work state in the Northeast. I was glad to see some of it I became governor. Now, folks, I've been traveling all around this state, and our campaign is gaining great momentum and great support. We're running radio ads statewide. Maybe you've heard them on Paul Westcott's show. I was happy this week to earn the endorsements of our former GOP chair, Wayne Cimprini, and also the former House Republican leader, Sherman Packard. And we're gaining a lot of this support because people see we're offering a vision, a good long-term vision for the state, and a specific plan for how we're going to become the most economically prosperous state in the country. And it's a plan that lowers taxes on businesses because we have the 5th highest corporate tax rate in the country. So I've called for a reduction in our business taxes so that they can grow more jobs in the state here and expand and end the tax on businesses that aren't even making a profit in our state, which we do right now. And it's a plan to lower health insurance costs because, again, they're some of the highest in the country by allowing consumers and businesses to purchase health insurance across state lines, invite more competition into the system, and help bring down the prices. And it's a plan to lower electric rates by allowing the public utilities to purchase electricity at the cheapest cost possible, but also ending the onerous regulations on our public utilities and telling the EPA, the Employment Prevention Agency, to go pound sand every time they want to put a new mandate on our public utilities. Yeah, that's what it's like before I think. And it's a plan. It's a plan to do what I did when I helped run the state's juvenile justice system, which is implement a system of metrics all across state government so the taxpayers know what their return on investment is and what the efficacy is of the programs that we're currently funding in state government. And it's a plan to keep more of our young people here in the state because we're losing our young folks at an alarming rate by forming public-private partnerships between the business community and the post-secondary schools and our high schools. And folks all around the state believe these things because we know as Republicans that it is not state government that's going to create jobs in New Hampshire, but it's going to be state government that creates the environment and the atmosphere for good jobs to be created in the private sector. And I've said many times, you know, I'm about results and metrics. And if I'm not being Governor Deval Patrick's worst nightmare, then I'm not doing my job very well. Because I want him to know that I'm going into his state and shamelessly stealing jobs from Massachusetts into New Hampshire because it's high time our citizens stop paying income tax to the People's Republic of Massachusetts. Now, folks, if I'm fortunate enough to be your nominee this coming November, and I get to go toe-to-toe with one of the taxing twins, Maggie Hassan or Jackie Silly, you have my word that I will bring it to them every step of the way, just as I did day in and day out out during their time in the state senate. I mean, these folks have never seen a tax that they don't like. These folks implemented a tax on LLCs. They implemented a tax on campgrounds, on lottery winnings, on electricity rates, on car registrations. And I've said, I plan on reminding the public every day of every job-killing, business-busting, tax-hiking, nanny-stating, Debbie Downer policy these two ever voted for. The Democrats, during their time, they even voted for a tax on anyone who allowed a helium balloon to go into the air. And I said, this would have cost me a lot of money because I got 3 young kids, all who love parades and they love balloons, but they don't hold on to them very well. We simply cannot afford to go backwards in this state. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running to be your governor because I have the vision, the energy, and the experience to lead us into a new era of prosperity. And I will use my experience as a former state legislator, as someone who worked as an assistant for a former U.S. Senator and a former governor, as someone who helped run a state agency and got good reforms on the inside, but also someone who got good conservative policy passed successfully on the outside as well. You have my word, I will not check my principles at the door as governor. I'm running as a Republican, I will win as a Republican, and I will govern as a Republican. Thank you. And together, all of us in here, we are going to lead New Hampshire into a new era of prosperity. Thank you all very much. God bless you, and God bless the great state of New Hampshire. Thank you.
Croc TV.